Like, speak to each other, let's listen, let's connect, let's understand where's the disconnect, what is going on. I was watching a video that said that the purpose of imperialism, the purpose of colonialism, the purpose of patriarchy, the purpose of what is to make us forget empathy. Hi, my name is Martha Mwatha, or Raboiwa Mwatha. I am a feminist, I am a lawyer, I'm a gender and human rights activist, and I organize with Feminists in Kenya and Femicide Kenya and other grassroots organizations. The role of the public in holding those who use manipulation accountable is very important, because it is in the public that we realize we need to see each other. Somebody said, to be seen is to be loved, and we cannot espouse empathy or solidarity or build anything that is worthwhile as a movement without seeing each other. So in public, we need to cultivate a culture where even as I come in public, I realize that I am not here existing alone, and it's not only my reality that matters, which is why now solidarity comes into play. I think it was an interesting thing I was reading the other day that said it shouldn't matter if the person that you're standing in solidarity with has also some tendencies of oppression, because again, these things intersect and they build up. Like, you can hold a person accountable while at the same time standing in solidarity with them, because we realize that the issue is actually structural. It is not a human thing. So it is in the public that we can actually disseminate a lot of information, talk, change narratives, and even change the attitudes of the people that look. Say Karen Nyamu was sexually harassed the other day, you can say that indeed some of the things that she stands for I do not agree with, but this is a woman, and this again boils down to how women are treated. And if you cannot see Karen Nyamu and humanize her and have empathy for her, then you would be lying to me if you told me that you can actually empathize with the most minoritized of women, because they tend to be the most forgotten. I think that is a very loaded question. I've been thinking about it. It's very loaded in that we start small. I like to say that even where we are with femicide, even where we are with the way things are running in this country, is because that fabric of solidarity has been targeted, and it is very, very intentional. Because again, the powers and the forces that we are fighting, they know that without solidarity, without empathy, without looking at the other person and being able to say, you know, like, I can see your humanity, then changes how we even relate to people's oppression. I was watching a video that said that the purpose of imperialism, the purpose of colonialism, the purpose of patriarchy, the purpose of what is to make us forget empathy. It is to make us forget solidarity. So how do we start? I think you start small with building communities. Like me and you sitting down and seeing you, putting my phone down so that I can listen to your story. You're telling me what you went through. I listen to you. I want to hear so that I can humanize you, so that I can get into the story and understand. It is going in the communities, like when we have advocacy engagements, right? Sitting down and speaking to people in a language that they understand, without really making it very wordy or preachy or very, combative. Sitting down, seeing each other, telling each other this is how community is built. It's also in asking, because we forget that when we are wanting to stand in solidarity with people, most of the time we say that this is what I want, take it. Maybe that is not what the victim is looking for, or rather the people who are the minoritized group at that time is looking for. Walk into that space and ask them, how may I come in? That's how solidarity is built. Internal resilience speaks to people, your personhood first. And I believe we say that for you to build communities, for you to build strong movements, for you to build organizations, right, and to make impact, you have to first be home with yourself. So some of the most internal resilience that I like to remind people is that please always check in with yourself. Check in with yourself and know that this is how much I can give right now. And I'm showing up for the match. I know how tiring it is for me to go to the match again and again. So what am I doing before the match to ensure that even my nervous system is regulated? Already the streets are very scary for us right now, and especially for women. Like, yeah, you know, like we can see how it is increasingly becoming dangerous. So some of the internal resilience is just noticing how your energy sits in your body. You can feel like your legs want to give in. You can feel like there is stored trauma. Do something for yourself. Take a walk, run. Tell Wanjiro, please, can you hold space for me a little bit, because I feel like I want to scream, you know? That is one. I think the other thing to build internal resilience is having things like town halls, where we sit down and now we get back down to the nitty-gritties as a group of people, as a group of peers. We speak to each other, because I feel like people don't talk to each other unless they are talking over or at each other. Like, speak to each other, let's listen, let's connect, let's understand where's the disconnect, what is going on. Because if we cannot foster, we cannot cultivate a culture of understanding between each other, we can't even create that resilience that we want. It takes very small bricks, many being piled up to build, say, even this building. So it is in those small, tiny steps. I also, the other thing for just building resilience is as easy as knowing that today I am going to show up for that person who is going maybe to court. Like, you're going to court, I will be there to hold your hand. That is resilience, because with support, you see people standing next to you and suddenly your voice changes. I don't know if you've ever had that thing for you are speaking with a small voice and then you see somebody and you're like, oh, that's my person. And now you're feeling more brave to even go for your fight, to go to the front lines, to do whatever. So it is in the showing up in small ways, but in ways that we also check up with ourselves. Shifa Okore likes to talk about mental health. Like, even as we are doing this, go back and rest, go back, drink water, take tea, you know, dance to move the energy. Yeah. There are very many organizations that do this, right? But mainly I think we can say Usikimia has really been on the front lines of holding women and holding victims and working with them the long journey. That is one I can say for sure. Feminists in Kenya, they do this thing where we have a healing retreat, right? For just healing, because Nyambura, my friend Nyambura, likes to say online that even activists, even fighters, even revolutionaries need healing. So we need to meet at some point. So they do the thing for bringing people at the front lines to a healing space where you can feel, you know, you're held without judgment, without anything, right? There is the Wango Kanja Foundation. I believe they work closely with women who are victims of sexual and gender-based violence. There are groups like Badili Africa. There are groups like, you know, Defenders Coalition, which has been very instrumental. It's a coalition of very many defenders groups, but it has been very instrumental even during this move of and femicide movement. They have really held us together. So that is another. I mean, I could go on and on if you want, but yes. Let me first of all say I'm sorry. Really, you don't deserve to be going through that. But secondly, that you're stronger than you really think. Like you have resilience, you can do it. And the reason why narcissists do whatever narcissists do, even when it is democratically, it's because they recognize the power within you. So don't you ever forget that. Every day you wake up, look at yourself and remember just how powerful you are. Go out there and be the best version of yourself that you could ever be. However that best version of yourself looks like. It could be a rest day. That is powerful. So just be kind to yourself.